Now that Twee's foundation has been applied, which was Studio Tech in NC44, I am going to set her with a blot powder. And I'm going to be using MAC's blot powder, which is in the shade of dark. It's not a heavy coverage like a Studio Fix, it's just very sheer, and it does a great job with dealing with shininess that may occur after a long time of using. However, it doesn't give you a very heavy coverage to where you can tell that you're wearing a ton of makeup. All right, so I've already placed Twee's first, or left, my left, your right eye. And to do the second eye, I'm going to use Urban Decay's Primer Potion, and the reason that I'm using that is because it's colorless. And put it all over her lid, up into her brow. And then I'm going to work it in with my finger, which I have already washed and sanitized. I'm going to use Vorpal from the Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette, and taking a 239, I'm going to place that on Twee's eyelid. And being sure to work that in to her tear duct or inner eye. I'm taking a 210, and which is a very thin, small brush, and I'm working this into the socket of her eye. If you feel more comfortable using a pencil, you can do that. And you see I'm just making marks. I don't really want to make a defined line. I'm just kind of making a shape for myself, a guideline, and I'm using a gel liner. Okay, that is a very rough guideline. Now taking MAC's Carbon, I'm going to rub that into my guideline. You see now I'm working that into the lower lash line. I am going to go into Twee's eye and start with her liner. I'm using a gel liner, and I'm just extending it into the extension that we've made here. I'm using the same brush that I used to place the outline. Okay, so now that Twee's eyeliner has been placed, I'm going to use MAC's Stud Brow Pencil, and I'm going to outline her eyebrow first. And Twee has a bit of a problematic eyebrow. She's got that Beyonce brow.
And it is a Beyonce brow.
Mm-hmm. In case you didn't know, Beyonce has a brow just like this, where the hairs grow upward right in here. Drawing her extension, and Ciara definitely has a heavier brow in this video. And then for a more dramatic effect, I'm going to put a top to her outline as well. If you don't want your eyebrow to look super dramatic, don't draw a top to it, just outline the bottom. And I'm going to fill in her brow with an angled Smashbox brush using this color, this dark brown right here, which is called Handwritten, and it is a MAC color. For Twee's highlight, I'm going to use Shroom, and using a 228, I'm going to go under her brow. And do you believe it's just that simple? We're almost done. I'm going to put on her concealer, and Twee and I will be right back.
It is that simple, folks.
And Ciara seems to have a very smoky under eye, very dark. So I'm going to use a little bit of Carbon underneath Twee's eye into her lash line and fading that into the extension that we've made. Working that all the way into the inner eye and doing the same on the other eye. To make it extra smoky, I am going to, now that the black is down, take Handwritten, which is a dark brown, the same color that I filled in her brow with, and smudge that right under that black. Now for Twee's contour, I'm going to use a 165 and blunt. I'm going to work the contour right into her hairline, slightly into her temple. And you can always go to BeatFaceHoney.com in the blog section for a detailed list of products used. I'm going to contour Twee's nose, and we'll be right back. This is called Cyclone. I am putting this right on the ball of Twee's cheeks using a 165, giving her a bronzy, sassy look. Using the color of Mocha, which is a brand that I get from Sally's in the color of Mocha. I am going to use this as a lip liner. I didn't show you guys many sanitary practices in this video, however you can be sure that they were used, but I am going to show you this. I carry around with me in my kit a bottle of alcohol, and when you're putting a lip pencil on somebody, you spray that, and then you take your pencil, sharpen it, which sharpening should always happen because it sheds away whatever you've used on somebody else. Then I'm going to spray the pencil again, make sure I get a good covering, and then wipe it down with some toilet paper or a tissue or whatever. And I'm going to outline Twee's lips. And Ciara is wearing a very nude color, so that is why this pencil isn't very noticeable, and I'm sure on camera it really doesn't show up. And Twee has beautiful lips. If you have a larger lip, you definitely don't, look at that smile. If you have a larger lip, you definitely don't want to outline your lips too much, because the purpose of outlining your lips is to make them more defined, more shapely, and a girl with a larger lip doesn't need to do that. And whatever is close to your flesh complexion, that is what you should use on your lip for the Ciara Go Girl look. Before I put it back in my kit, I will do the same thing, rub it down with alcohol. To complete Twee's look, I am using a seasonal color that doesn't even have a name. However, Twee had it in her arsenal and preferred that I use this. It's her own, so I'm going to put color straight to lip. Otherwise, you wouldn't want to put the color right on somebody's lip if you are a makeup artist and putting it on somebody who does not own that color and you're using it on other people. Okay, Twee and I will be back with lashes done and the completed look.